Hi there folks, well, welcome back to my channel, and for this video, still in Highland Perthshire, and where I've actually come to is Killiecrankie. So Killiecrankie is a short drive from Pitlochry itself, and is probably one of the NTS's most popular sites. Probably, especially after things like Outlander came out, even though I think Killiecrankie was fought before the 45. But we'll kind of get into more detail about that later on when I'm wandering around and showing you all around the location, or as much as I can. And yeah, so from what I've seen online, there are also said to be ghost stories about Killiecrankie, which I cannot totally understand why, because again, there was one hell of a battle fought here, a lot of bloodshed, kind of a lot of tragedy, all that sort of happened in this location. So I will talk about the history and maybe some of the supernatural when I get out. So before I head off out, if you enjoy my channel, if you enjoy my videos, if you click on the subscribe button, click on that notification bell, leave some likes, leave some comments, it's always really appreciated. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can follow me on TikTok and Blue Sky. You'll find the links in the description bar below and in a pinned comment in the comments section. And you can also click on the join button and become a channel member, with all that money going towards supporting the channel and getting out on more adventures like this. So with that out the road, I'm going to grab my things and head on out. Yeah, so that's where I am. Yeah, so it's one of the goriest battles in Jacobite history. That's why there's a lot of ghost stories. I also give you an idea of the location. So, Soldier's Leap is all the way up at the top. So that's where one of the soldiers, I think it was one of the government soldiers, was getting chased by the Jacobites, had to jump and somehow managed to make it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get all the way up there, but I'll have a good little wander around the area anyway. And I think Visitor Centre's just over here, so I'll head up there. Yeah, so go along that way and I'll take you to the walks and up to Soldier's Leap. Yeah, so this is the battle where John Graham of Claverhouse, or Bonnie Dundee, died. So that's Bonnie Dundee there. So the actual battlefield is just north of the visitor centre itself. Yeah, so that is the date for the battle. I don't know if I said 1669 or 1689, but 1689 that the battle took place. And the Jacobites were being led by Claverhouse, known as Bonnie Dundee, while it was General Mackay was on the government side. There's a lot of information, especially inside where the cafe is. And so if you're coming in the back of the visitor centre and you see this little sign, and you just follow the path down. Yeah, so talking about the ghost stories, again, Erie, Edinburgh, I mentioned when I did the video at the Dover's Inn. I've also done a video talking about the ghosts here at Killiecrankie. So again, I'll link that video in to this video, so that again you can go and watch that one, because he does tell these stories so much better than I can. He really kind of goes into quite a lot of depth about what people have seen, and what's supposed to be kind of experienced while you're actually here in the gorge. But one of the stories that has been reported is that the night before the battle, Bonnie Dundee, while sleeping in his tent, he had a guard outside his tent to make sure that nobody got to him. But he was woken up by the premonition of a soldier with a bloody wound to his head. And when he kind of like sat up, when he could have really woke himself up, there was no one there. And then he went back to sleep, and the thing happened again, where he had another premonition of a soldier with his bloody wounds who was trying to get him to follow him, or trying to get Dundee to follow him outside. And again he woke up, nobody there. Dundee went and checked with the guy who's stationed at the front of his tent, and he was like, no, there's been nobody who's been in your tent, just you, and I've been sitting here. And Dundee's going, okay, went back to his bed. And again, the exact same thing happened. And he went and spoke to a Highland chief, because he realised, no, something's actually happening here. And they realised it was some sort of premonition about the battle that was going to be taking place the next day. Yeah, so with that story about what Dundee was said to have seen before the battle, I just kind of wondered, was he having a premonition warning him about his death? Because he was killed during the battle, and yeah, even though it was a Jacobite victory, obviously the Jacobites lost their commander, and it was also believed at the time that Dundee could not be killed by steel, he could only be killed by silver. And it has been suggested that he was killed by a bullet that was made from a silver button. How much truth there is in that? Don't know. I don't know if it was actually a silver bullet that killed him, but that's what was believed at the time. And that's a stunning view. Yeah, so I know I was saying when I was doing a video at the Enchanted Forest that the car park for the Hermitage was absolutely packed. So again, I think it's October weekend, and the weather's actually quite nice. And places like the Hermitage, I think they both have quite a reputation for being places to go and to take photographs and vlogs, especially during the autumn. But again, it does lead to the site's being quite busy. Even here today when I was coming to Killiecrankie, the car park was quite busy and quite full. So it was a bit of a struggle to get a car parking spot. But again, when you see a location like this, you can totally understand why people want to come and see it. And even though it's a bit of a hike, lots of ups and downs, but when the weather's like this, you can't beat it. But I'll keep wandering down and show you as much as I can. So the soldiers sleep if you follow the path going that way. So I don't know if I actually said that it was. I think it might have done. That it was because a government soldier was getting chased by some Jacobite soldiers. And he got to this point where he couldn't run anymore, and all the way out was either getting taken by the Jacobites or taking the jump. And he took the jump and somehow managed to make it. So again, with the path, a lot of it's uneven, So again, sensible shoes, and possibly take some walking poles with you as well. So it goes down this way. So the Pass of Killiecrankie and the Linn of Tummel. The Linn of Tummel is a waterfall. Or just down on my left hand side. The Soldier's Leap is up this way. Yeah, so a lot of the ghost sightings at Killiecrankie seem to be related to people seeing ghostly soldiers. Whether be individual soldiers running by, or regiments of soldiers, like groups of soldiers, like marching along through the area. And yeah, and again, a lot of it seems to centre around the anniversary of the battle. A bit like Culloden, where a lot of the stories there say that you'll see ghostly soldiers fighting when it comes to the anniversary. So there seems to be a similar story told about here as well. Yeah, so I managed to find Soldier's Leap. So he wouldn't have jumped from where I'm standing just now, but he'd have jumped from the bit of rock just down there, just at the water, and I've jumped across the gorge to the other side. But as you can see, that is very fast flowing water. So if he had fallen into the water, probably wouldn't have come back out alive. But at the time he probably thought that would be a better risk than being taken by the Jacobites. And you can see how rocky some of these paths are. So again, be very careful. Yeah, I have to admit, I always do find it a bit strange telling these ghost stories when the sun's split in the sky and the weather's not just utterly glorious. It's always something I'd expect for doing, sitting on a campfire in the pitch black. But again, the ghosts really care if it's at night or day. Not too sure if much further along this path I'll go. Might head back and try and see if I can get down to the Linn of Tummel and try and see if I can find that. So again, I don't want to be spending too long out here. So again, with now being in October, it starts getting dark about 7 o'clock. And yeah, the joy of Scotland in autumn. You get all these glorious colours, but the days are definitely starting to get shorter. So I'm going to head back along to that wee junction and try and go downhill a wee bit. That's a railway bridge you can get glimpses of from up the top. Definitely an impressive piece of engineering, especially how uneven the ground is here, how steep the hillsides are. Again, Victorian engineering was definitely top notch, that's for sure. So this is where first blood is drawn. So one of the Jacobites managed to shoot one of the government cavalry soldiers. And it's pretty much where the viaduct is now. So that's the river that's running through the gorge. And a bit of history about the viaduct over here. Yeah, so I was reading this wee notice here. And this bit has been affected, or this area has been affected by ash dieback. So they're trying to fell deceased trees and try and replace them with more native trees. Try and increase and improve the biodiversity. So it's always a good sign when they actually are doing some conservation work, whether it be historical, archaeological or ecological. Yeah, so I think the Linn of Tummel, which is the waterfall, is about 1.5 miles in that direction. But it is getting a bit later in the day now. I think it's about 4 o'clock now. I don't want to be out too long when it could be getting dark in the next few hours. So I want to try and see if I can get another video in before I head back home. But again, that's probably the most I've actually explored the Pass of Killiecrankie. But it is stunning, especially in the autumn, when you get to see all the colours and the leaves changing. It's just a shame that you don't get as much time to explore it during the shorter months. But again, it just makes you appreciate it more. And this could be the worst part. Having to get all the way back up. Again, a good workout. A good workout for the legs. Still a wee bit to go. All the way up there. Once I get to the bridge, it shouldn't be too bad. It's about 15 degrees just now and I'm already sweating. But this is what I need to be doing more of. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Ben Vrackie up there. So any of you out there who know your Scottish mountains, you can let me know if I'm right. I know Ben Vrackie is in the area. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, so I'd clocked this on my way down and I had a better look at it on the way back up. And it's a JR9, so it's James the 9th. So obviously that was Bonnie Prince Charlie's dad. So even though he called himself James the 9th, obviously he was never officially seen as being the King of Great Britain. But they've got this on the outside wall of the visitor centre, just as you start to head down the Pass of Killiecrankie. Yeah, I knew I'd heard that somewhere, about Dundee being harmed by silver. And the visitor centre to have some basket hilt swords. And they'll also have some of the musket balls and the cannonballs, which have always been used during the risings. And I think that's that one there. It's said to be Bonnie Dundee's sword. So that one there looks very shiny. I'm guessing that must be a bomb, as we kind of grenade or something. That might be the hell I was seeing when I was walking back up. No idea how to pronounce it, because my Gaelic is so bad. So Ben Vrackie must be hidden behind that one. Yeah, that's the one I was seeing. Is it Meluane? My pronunciation is terrible. So that's what Ben Vrackie looks like. Yeah, so that's me just heading back to the car. Yeah, the car park's definitely looking a lot quieter now. A lot of people have moved on, because it was absolutely heaving earlier on. But again, that's a good wee day out. And a good walk. And yeah, and again, the weather has been glorious. It was a bit overcast and a bit grotty when I left the house this morning on the west coast. But the weather definitely improved the minute I got anywhere near Stirling. So definitely been enjoying it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, hopefully you've found it interesting, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.